Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 27 of 30 days of real estate content. My name is John Olit and I'm the CEO of Red Diamond Properties. And in the last 26 days, I've educated you on different aspects of real estate. And these educational videos are on my Facebook page here, and you can also get them on my YouTube page. Today, I'm going to be continuing the educational series. And I came to realize that because I am an incurable optimist, I usually see the glass as half full instead of half empty. And as good as that is for business, the downside to it is that I may not sometimes consider fully the negative or the downsides to a business or pitfalls. But understanding that is a challenge, I've now decided to start deliberately and consciously looking at also the negative sides of a business so I can present to you an informed perspective. So I spoke on 12 aspects through which you can make money in real estate. And one of them is shortlet. And I stated when I did it, I stated the benefit of shortlet over hotels, and I stated how to start it. I stated about 4 steps. You can just go on my YouTube page and here on Facebook to see it. So what I want to do today is to share my view on the pitfalls you should avoid if you are going into shortlet business. Pitfalls you should avoid. Pitfalls you should avoid. Because every business has its own challenges. And if you're not aware of those challenges, you could hit the rocks. You could hit the rocks. So, the first pitfall you should avoid is picking a wrong location. Shortlet is location based. Even in a state that is suitable for shortlet, not every place in that state is suitable for shortlet. So for instance, according to a report last year, Lagos generated 285 billion naira in shortlet revenue, about 281 or 285 billion naira. And up to a major part of it came from the Lekki, Banana Island, Ikoyi, Victoria Island axis. Some 90, some 70 billion. Then some came from some other locations. So you see, Lagos has so many locations that are good for real estate. You have the Ikeja, like general real estate rentals. You have the Ikeja. You have Lagos Island. You have Lagos Mainland. You have Bagada. You have Yaba. You have Oyinbo. Any form of real estate you do there will succeed to an extent. But some locations are more suitable for certain types of investment, just like shortlet. So the best locations in Lagos for shortlet, according to that report, are the Lekki axis, Banana Island, Victoria Island, Ikoyi axis. And they generated generally about 285 billion came in Lagos revenue in Lagos from shortlet. And majority came from those few clusters I stated. So location is very key. Location is very key. You want a location that is most suitable to give you the best if you are going into shortlet. A place in Lagos, Ekpa, may be good for land banking, it may be good for property development, but is it suitable for shortlet? No. A place like Ikorodu in Lagos is good for land banking too, for property development, for off-plan. But is it suitable for shortlet? No. A place in Abuja, Maitama, Sokoro, suitable for shortlet. But places like Dede, Zuba, are they suitable? No. So location is very key. You want to choose locations that your clients will ideally come to. Locations that are sort of like the center of business. Locations that are the center of business. So it's very important. You want to be in places that have good power supply, easy road accessibility, and a cluster of other shortlet. It is very important. So if you ignore that and you just pick any location, that's a pitfall that you would have entered into. But I'm doing this live so that you can be aware of it and avoid it. Another pitfall you should avoid is poor management. I said if you don't want to be the one to manage your shortlet, you can give it to a property manager. But that property manager should know the business very well. If not, if they market it or manage it poorly, it will go down. I'm marketing a property in Mabushi, Abuja, fully furnished for about 160 million. But the tenant there rented it and was using it for shortlet, but it was poorly managed. The managers ran it aground, stealing money. They would get guests, take the money, they would say no clients. Now, if the owner of the shortlet had known some of the things to do, even though he handed it over to property managers, he would have been at an advantage. If he knew about softwares to be deployed, if he knew how to put the right things in place that will help him to be able to monitor people that come into his apartment, would have been good. So it was poorly managed. He gave it to poor managers and they ran the business aground. Now, that location I'm talking about, it consists of blocks of flats, maybe up to 30, 40 units. And it has a swimming pool, it has a gym that's coming up, good parking spaces. But would you want to know, it would be good for you to know that in that same location, I know another person that has 4 units of shortlet and is doing wonderfully well. So you see same location, but different management, and they got entirely different results. So you want to get good property managers who have experience of the industry, so they don't run your business aground. It's very important you know that. The third pitfall you should avoid is wrong pricing strategy. Don't make the mistake of overpricing your shortlet apartment. If not, your apartment will gather dust. You need to know that your guests, your clients, they are not ignorant. They have an idea of the going rate. You need to know. Now, before a guest to come to your place, they would have checked around other places, ideally, before settling for your place. And they'll look at pricing. They understand the fact that, yes, facilities or amenities in a shortlet apartment can make the price vary. But if there's such a sharp difference, you will be caught out. So you don't want to overprice your apartment. You want to give it a moderate pricing. You want to have an idea of the general pricing in that area before you set your price. So you want to go to on shortlet site like booking.com, like Airbnb, to have an idea of the pricing in that location. So you don't overprice your apartment and scare away your guests. So you don't overprice your apartment. Now that does not still detract from the fact that when there's the Yuletide period, when there's festive period events, you can tweak your price and increase it. Yes, that does not stop it. But when you are not in demand, don't make demands. So when you're not in demand, when the season is not a demand season, don't make high demand by putting a high price on your property. So that's one pitfall you should avoid, which is overpricing your property. The fourth pitfall you should avoid is poor photography and listing presentation. You need to know that ideally shortlet is a game of pictures. Not everybody will come and inspect your property. Some of them, they'll just make a decision based on pictures, based on video. So many shortlets have gotten as a broker for people. They just say, send me pictures, send me video. They want to show the client. And they make a decision based on that. Very few come for inspection. So you want to put nice photography, nice video, nice pictures. You also want to list it well and state out all the amenities. Don't just say 2-bedroom shortlet apartment available. State what is there. 24/7 light, standby power supply, water supply, microwave, PlayStation 5, snooker, 24/7 internet. That 24/7 internet, Netflix, restaurant, laundry. So those type of things will differentiate you from the other person, average person who does says 2-bedroom shortlet apartment or 3-bedroom shortlet apartment. Put again cleaning services. You can put something like complimentary breakfast. So those type of things will differentiate you from others when you are listing, when you are describing your property. I've spoken about having good pictures, having good videos, possibly using drone photography to get the best possible out of your apartment. Because in as much as I said that Lagos State, we have so much revenue, but you also need to know that people are running loss. I've even already given a story, because it's a thing in Nigeria that whenever any business is doing well, people rush into it. So more than ever, we have more people in the shortlet space. So the question now is, what is going to differentiate you from the great crowd of everybody, from the great crowd of people who are going into shortlet? It's your picture, it's your presentation that matter. It's very important. Another mistake or pitfall you should avoid is poor guest communication. Not communicating with your guests well. And when I mean poor guest communication, I mean both when they are coming and when they are there. So this has to do with poor guest communication and poor customer service. So your guests, they book your appointment, they've booked your place. You've not given them description. You've not told them the time to check in. Even if you've told them they're trying to call you, they cannot reach out to you. Or they've checked in, they have issues. Maybe the water is not running well. Maybe the heater is not running well. Maybe the AC is not running well, and you can't communicate with them. You don't have ability to quickly respond to issues. It's an instant put off. It's an instant put off. So that's one pitfall you want to avoid. I keep saying it, the first shortlet I stayed in Rwanda, when I went for a conference, I had top-notch clients or customer service. She went over and above board, gave me what others will not give. Helped me in coming to Rwanda by providing a taxi for me to move around, gave me details of places I can go to, gave me a tour guide, just made my stay in Rwanda very good. So poor communication and poor customer service is one pitfall you want to avoid. Because if you get it right, you need to know that one of your best forms of marketing or advertising is word of mouth referral. People will simply tell the other people, you're coming into the city, stay with this person. Because you have given them good service, and that's less cost for you in marketing. But if you do not do that, if they got your apartment from maybe an Airbnb or Booking.com or any site that gives the opportunity for feedback, they will give you bad feedback. They will give you bad feedback, bad review, and it will affect your ratings. So that is one mistake you want to avoid. That's one mistake you want to avoid. And I think the last but not the least I would like to talk about is overlooking legal and regulatory requirements. Or overlooking legal and regulatory requirements. So let me talk about regulatory requirements now, not in response to government, but in response to location. So in that location, you put it in an estate. Now this is quite different from the location I talked of at the first instance. Looking at the regulatory requirements in that place. The first estate, the first one I talked about, the location. Imagine you get in a place that you are not aware that the place is not so friendly to shortlet. It's an issue. So look at, for instance, now the residents of Banana Island in Lagos, they recently, like Banana Island, which is an estate, they recently passed a circular, came to the resolution that no more shortlets there. Because they found out that maybe people were using shortlet apartments for some fraudulent activities. And Banana Island is one of the most top-notch places in Nigeria, one of the most expensive, highbrow areas where the 1% of the 1% live. But shortlet was now being done in the estate and people were using it wrongly. So now you are not aware of that regulation that they've passed in their estate, and you now buy an apartment there and you want to use it for shortlet. You've already lost on arrival. You've already failed even before you started. Another story too. A client of mine has an shortlet apartment in an estate, and he bought it for shortlet. But as time went on, the estate became hostile. Started screening everybody coming into the estate. Yes, even though it is good for security, but it was disadvantageous to shortlet. Very disadvantageous to shortlet. At the time the client of mine bought it, he was not aware of that. And it affected him. in business. Because in other locations he has in Abuja, in some apartments, it gets up to 15 to 20, 25 days in a month use. While in this place, at some low periods, he had up to just about 5 days a month. So these are some pitfalls you should avoid if you're going into the shortlet business. It's not all rosy. Shortlet can be profitable, much more profitable than yearly rental, but if not done right, it can also lead to serious issues. So these are some of the pitfalls which you should take into consideration and avoid if you're going into shortlet business in Nigeria. My name is John Onis and I'm the CEO of Red Diamond Properties Limited, and we're a property development company. Beyond shortlet brokerage, which I said we do, basically we're a property development company. And we recently launched our estate, Genesis Court, in Kuchiyako Extension, Kuje. And here's the plan. With a 200 square meter land going for 1.5 million, you can build a 3-bedroom terrace duplex. With a 300 square meter land going for 2.2 million, you can build a 4-bedroom semi-detached duplex. While with a 400 square meter land going for 3 million, you can build a 5-bedroom fully detached duplex. And the last but not the least, with a 1,000 square meter land, you can build a block of flats, 6 units, 2 units each of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. So for more information and inquiries, you can contact me on +234 813 799 0792. +234 813 799 0792. You can also send me an email at reddiamondproperties10@gmail.com. reddiamondproperties10@gmail.com. So thank you for joining me. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about something, a business and investment which you want to go into, the higher the likelihood of your success. And the lesser you know, you go in blindly, the higher the likelihood of your failure. And I don't want you to fail. I'm giving you as much knowledge you can get free of charge. So get this knowledge and use it. You can follow me on Facebook here, John Odisa. You can follow our real estate company page, at Red Diamond Properties, both on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe to my YouTube page for educational videos on real estate. Thank you so very much for joining me today on the 27th of real estate content, real estate educational post. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.